Are you ready?
Fasten your seatbelts.
Drivers, start your engines.
Race activated. Sheer passion. Change the game forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, we give you Racing with Celebs.
I am immediately excited about today. What a pleasure to be back to entertain you as we put our celebrity racers through their paces on another episode of Racing with Celebs. I'm sure you are just as excited as I am to know who will be racing today. But before we can do that, let's kick off with our word of the day. Blend line. The painted line defining the exit from the pit lane where it rejoins the racetrack. My name is Donovan Clyde, and today we will be guiding you from the pit stop back on the track. I know you have been waiting for this episode the whole week. Let's cut to the chase. Today, the action will take place at the Varkfontein MX Track. Finally, what started out as a dream has become a reality. An MX riding destination designed for both novice and experienced riders. Our celebrity today is TV regular and has featured and starred from movies to TV. He is no one else but Francois Jacobs. Francois Jacobs is a South African singer, songwriter and actor who rose to fame for his starring role as Klein Piet de Wit in the Kyknet period drama series Donkerland in 2013. He hails from Nelspruit and he completed his BA drama with a degree from the University of Stellenbosch. In 2015, he was one of the 12 finalists of the Top Actor SA, a reality competition that was the first original program on the new BET channel when it launched in 2015. Let's go and find out more about the track from my co-host Johan Snyman.
Welcome back to the track. To all of you who have heard about the program and is joining us for the first time, you have missed out on a lot of fun. My name is Johan Snyman and I'm very excited to have Francois Jacobs on our show today. Without any further delays, let's go and find out what the track has in store. The Varkfontein MX Track is 1.55 kilometers and includes a lot of jumps. That includes tabletop, ski jump, step down, hoops, chicken runs and a lot more. The flat track is 1.8 kilometers and the drivers can enjoy the speed and flow of the track. In 2019, the Varkfontein MX Track were fortunate enough to be included in the Inland Championship and hosted 2 race events. Now that we know more about the track, it's time to introduce you to Francois Jacobs. Francois, welcome to Racing with Celebs. It's an honor for us to have you on the show today.
Well, thank you for having me.
What are your expectations for today?
I have no expectations, but I go by the law of if you ain't first, you last. So alles of niks.
Have you done something like motocross before? I know you do a lot of quads, but motocross itself?
Yeah, motorsports has been in my family for quite some time. Started off at the age of 5 on a PV50, so started shredding the dirt from back then, and then built myself up to about 125cc, so this is a big boy for today, and then went over to the quad racing. Did a bit of rally racing myself, but yeah, this is going to be a new challenge for the day.
Well, to make sure you are safe at all times, let's go for the safety brief.
Lekker.
Take your hand off of the throttle, slow down and let the revs drop. Catch you after the break.
Mzansi, new spectacular singles brought to you by Roman's Pizza. Zihamba ngama 1-1. One single large margarita, only $63.90. One single large pepperoni deluxe, only $74.90. One single large 4-in-1, only $94.90. One single large sweet chili chicken, only $98.90. Nizwile. Order online at romanspizza.co.za. We deliver, or you collect. Roman's Pizza, best value.
Welcome back to part 2 of Racing with Celebs. This week it's Francois Jacobs who is taking to the track, the motocross track on this occasion. Let's see how he is going to fare out on the circuit for the first time then. He's used to riding quad bikes, but riding on a motocross track is going to be a very different kettle of fish. So away from the gates we go, and a big old wheelie there for somebody as they come in towards the first couple of corners. Looks like there's an incident as well as the yellow flag is being brought out. Here we are then on board with the 420 of Francois Jacobs, and you can see, well, can't see much actually, to be honest with you, because the dust is very severe indeed. It's Brendan Rush who leads the way from Trey Moser, then Nathan Kuhn in third position. Side by side, Sheldon Vosloo and Francois Jacobs then. Jacobs on the 420, trying to find his way through against Sheldon. Not quite able to do so for P4 at the moment, but certainly signaling his intentions earlier on. Of course, we've already had one episode here when we saw Theart here earlier on. But now we see Francois Jacobs battling quite far up the order actually as well. Brendan Rush leads the way on the 273 ahead of Trey Moser then. Here is Francois Jacobs as we ride on board with him. Just having a listen there, as you can see just how rutted and bumpy the surface is, sticking his leg out. As I said earlier on, he's known for riding quad bikes, but certainly not riding a motocross bike. It's a very different kettle of fish going from 4 wheels down to 2. So he's doing very well out there on track to keep himself on the straight and narrow. Francois, of course, very much known for being a South African actor, singer and songwriter, best known for starring in the television series of Donkerland, and also had a 12-song album titled Home, which also contributed significantly to his rise to prominence. Here then is Brendan Rush. You can hear the 2-stroke bike screaming away as he comes through. Trey Moser on the 4-stroke machine, very much a little bit more sedated in terms of its noise. Now here is Vincent Svart on the 326 ahead of Christian Svart on the number 45. So through the left-hander they go. This is for P7 and P8. Vincent ahead of Christian as it stands at the moment. Still Francois Jacobs holding on to P5. Not able to see much out there at all on track. Look at that dust being kicked up. Just behind them is actually the number 717 of Jordan Kelly in P6 at the moment. Here then we ride on board once again with Francois. And you can see the vibrations as well. It's going to be knackering for him. He's going to be so exhausted after this. Really does take it out of you, motocross, and it's a very difficult discipline to get the hang of, especially in a competitive race such as this. Now here is Christian Svart up the inside of Vincent then. That's for P7. Christian now ahead of Vincent, but is Vincent going to be able to try and fight it back? 2-stroke versus 4-stroke. Christian on the 2-stroke, Vincent on the 4-stroke, and Vincent does get it back into the next complex of corners. Now Francois Jacobs down into P5. Still holding on firm there as it stands at the moment, even if you can't see which direction he is supposed to be going at the moment. Coming through the right-hander then. Back onto the throttle once again. 2015, he was one of 12 finalists in Top Actor SA, which was a reality competition, which was first launched on the new Bet channel when it launched on DSTV back in April 2015. Also has a BA in drama with a degree from the University of Stellenbosch. So, very talented man, both on 2 wheels and off it as well. No doubt about that. There's your race leader, Brendan Rush, just going through your picture. Here, though, is Francois Jacobs on the 420. Coming through the right-hander, sticking his leg out. Very traditional motocross technique. If you're used to watching something like Supercross, well, this will seem a little bit different to you. But if you're used to watching road racing, it is completely different in every single conceivable way. And I must say, Francois doing a very good job of keeping pace. Certainly seems to be quite fearless. Coming through the right-hander we go then. Not involved in too much close combat out there on track at the moment, but doing a good job of keeping his pace. Jordan Kelly just in the background there of P6, beginning to close that gap ever so slightly, so that's worth keeping an eye on to see whether the number 717 of Kelly is going to be able to find his way past. A moment there for Jacobs as well is certainly not going to be helping him. Through into the left we go. Nicely done there for him. Holding on very firm indeed, then through into the right-hander. As that gap come down between Jacobs and Kelly. Oh, more moments like that as he gets on the power. Getting a bit greedy now is Jacobs. Going to have to be careful because it's a very fine line that between being on the edge of adhesion and being off the motorcycle. And, well, he's doing a good job of staying on it so far. Here, though, is Brendan Rush, just lapping Christian Svart for P7. Brendan Rush, of course, the race leader. And now ahead of the number 45. Hear that two-stroke rattling away. Very different kettle of fish riding a two-stroke compared to a four-stroke. Here's Nathan Kuhn on the number 7 in third position. Through the long left-hander. Quiet race for him there so far, but certainly looks very demanding out there on track. And Jacobs versus Kelly still continues on then for P5 as we look at it. Jacobs still ahead of Kelly at the moment. The gap beginning to come down ever so slightly, but a bit of a moment going into the corner there for Kelly. That will have cost him a few tenths of a second. Bit of time it would have cost him. Of course, this track is evolving lap after lap, as it does on a dirt circuit. Very dusty, very dry, lots of ruts being created as a result of the dirt being moved around as these bikes take sort of normal lines over the course of this one, and that will make it, if not anything, a bit more tricky to keep those lines consistent over the course of this race. Coming towards the closing stages there, and you can see Jacobs now really beginning to be on the back foot as Kelly gets very close indeed. Now here then is Trey Moser coming up to lap Christian Svart. Checkered flag is out though. Brendan Rush is going to take it in race 1. A very impressive result there for Brendan. Once again to take a clean sweep out of the final corner over the line. And he takes the flag ahead of Trey Moser and Nathan Kuhn. Vosloo Jacobs finishing in P5. Francois Jacobs ahead of Jordan Kelly, Vincent Svart and Christian Svart completing the top 8 finishers. Race 2 about to get underway then here at the Varkfontein Motocross Track. Away from the lights. Looks like it was once again a very good start for the number 420 of Francois Jacobs. He's now in P4, as you can see, trying to go the long way around the outside. It's Brendan Rush. Brilliant riding there for him as Sheldon Vosloo on the 118 ahead of Trey Moser now in third position. Here is Francois Jacobs, who's got a lot of dust in front of him and 3 very fast competitors. He would do a good job to try and stay with them on this opening lap, but with a vision like that, you can imagine that's not going to be the easiest task. No such problems though for Brendan Rush as the field negotiates their way through the first lap. Here then is Nathan Kuhn on the inside of Francois Jacobs. Has a bit of a look of a move, but can he make his way past into the next part of the corner? Not quite. Leg dangling there for Jacobs. Bit wide on exit. Kuhn's got good drive though. Can he manage to get past? Not at the moment, but certainly signalling his intentions. Let's see whether they draw side by side. They do, or maybe a bit of contact there. It was very close between them. Either way, Kuhn is now into 4th position. Jacobs down into P5. Jordan Kelly into 6th position. Here then is that 4th place battle. Now it is Jacobs attacking rather than defending from Kuhn. So let's see whether he is going to be able to find his way past. On board we ride with the South African once more, Francois Jacobs, who's got a lot of dust in front of him. Just having a listen to the raw sound of that bike as he gets on the power. And you can see he's only got one bike in front of him at the moment, but the dust that's being created by the field that follows, it's not clearing at all by the time they get there. Well, it's very difficult to work out what's dirt and what is grass at the moment, but either way, these riders are doing a good job of staying on board. The battle continues on then here for race 2. Still sitting in P5 as it stands at the moment. There is Francois Jacobs. Coming through were the front runners in the pack. There is Nathan Kuhn on the number 7. There is Francois Jacobs on the 420. Just coming out of that final corner. Big old kick up of dust as well as he gets onto the power. Brendan Rush, though, I mean, what can you say about him? He has just been in a league of his own out there on track throughout the entirety of this. Now here then is Nathan Kuhn. And it looks like somebody's gone off the track there. I think that could be the number 118 of Sheldon then. So it looks like Sheldon's gone off the track. And Vosloo, yeah, it is indeed Sheldon Vosloo on the number 118, down into 4th place. Nathan Kuhn now into P3. Well, another mistake like that from Vosloo would be a very welcome sight there for Francois Jacobs. There he is on board the number 420, going through into that left-hander. Meanwhile, Nathan Kuhn still sits in P3, having gapped Vosloo now. So a podium finish potentially on the cards here then for Nathan Kuhn. That dust still very prominent. It's the worst we've seen it actually at one of these motocross events. And well, here then is Francois Jacobs as we look at him once again. Of course, we've had one episode here so far with Racing Celebs. Albus Theart was here earlier on in the season. Didn't perform quite as well as Francois Jacobs, but Francois, of course, very used to riding quad bikes, used to being on a dirty surface, so he's doing a very good job of performing to expectations out there on track so far. Trey Moser in P2 on the 1-2-3. Very impressive performance from him once more. And here then is Francois Jacobs as we look at him once again in P5. Just look at the lack of vision he's got. He's really getting the power down there, trying to get that bike into the corner, trying to get on the gas. He's certainly not shy of it at all for a man who perhaps isn't quite used to battling in such close combat as this. I'm very impressed with his performance. As we saw in race 1, race 2 has got the two Swarts, Christian in P7 and Vincent in P8 at the moment. 45 versus 326. Nothing new going on there really. Christian still ahead of Vincent as it finished in race 1. Here's Nathan Kuhn then on the P7 in 3rd position. Sheldon Vosloo still sitting in P4. No chance there in the background for Francois Jacobs to close up then on this occasion. And here then is Jacobs versus Kelly. So this is a repeat of what we had in race 1. So Jacobs now coming under pressure from Jordan Kelly on the 717. Not able to find his way through as it stands at the moment is Kelly, but certainly gotten closer over the last couple of laps as Kelly. And that could be a very worrying sign there for Jacobs. His 5th position in this race could be under threat. Of course, we're coming to the closing stages now, so one thing to factor in, it could be fatigue. You could be getting a bit tired behind the handlebars of that. It's a very physical sport, is motocross. Certainly if you're not used to racing on surfaces like this for as long as this, and somebody like Jordan Kelly is perhaps a bit more versed in the art of staying a little bit more ready for the end of a race. Meanwhile, towards the back end of the field, Christian versus Vincent Swart continues on. P7 versus P8, 326. In the background there, just trying to find his way past number 45. Wider line coming in. Is he going to try and cut back? He's not close enough there. Tries to get good traction coming out of that corner, but again, isn't quite able to find his way past there. Vincent Swart ahead of Christian Swart then. Coming through the long right-hander as it stands. Bit of a kick-up of dust there as he gets on the power a bit too greedily there for Christian Swart. And Vincent there, certainly looking very menacing. They're going to have to keep a close eye on their mirrors as well, because the front runners are going to be coming up to lap them before too long once more. Here we are then on board with Francois Jacobs. Haven't seen too much of him. And, oh, looks like he's having some technical problems here because he's slowed down and Jordan Kelly has overtaken him for P5 then. So that is a bit of drama going on then for Francois Jacobs, and disappointment. Well, of course, there's a lot of dirt and dust flying around, and you can see him trying to get the bike started, but is it all going to be in vain? Francois Jacobs does now get the bike started, gets back on the straight and narrow. Well, thank goodness for that. P6 is going to be all he's going to be able to salvage then in this race after a challenging end to it. Technical gremlins can affect anybody, and sadly they've affected our celebrity star here of Francois Jacobs. So then, here is Brendan Rush. Checkered flag is out on this lap, and he's coming through the final series of corners. It's going to be 2 from 2 for Brendan Rush. The 273 comes over the line to take the win in race 2 ahead of Trey Moser and Nathan Kuhn. Sheldon Vosloo takes 4th ahead of Jordan Kelly. Francois Jacobs with those technical dramas finishing P6 ahead of Christian Swart in P7 and Vincent Swart in P8.
Yeah, fitness was definitely a big thing that came through throughout both races. Had 2 good starts, both in heat 1 and 2, but the track was very dusty, slippery. And yeah, it's not like getting back on a bicycle, you know, you really have to keep at it. That's why these Oaks are so good at what they do. It's day in and day out on the track, diets, training programs. So yeah, when they say, yeah, but you just turn the throttle, it's not. it's not like that. But yeah, also just the shift between going from quad racing back to two wheels MX racing is a big difference at the end of the day. But a lot of fun. I mean, the race element's always there. And how do they say? Watch the scoreboard.
Our race 1 was very good, nice and dusty. Well, not nice, but it was very dusty. Race 2, same story, very dusty. Big thanks to Racing with Celebs. This is awesome, such a good turnout. Can't wait for the next one.
While our celebrity catches his breath and takes a water break, this is what's coming up when we're back.
Welcome back to Racing with Celebs. Frana, how did you end up in the entertainment industry?
A funny question. My dad, I got to that age where my dad said, listen my boy, it's now time to really start pulling up your socks and focusing on your future. I've got this beautiful company that you can start working at. And I said, no, but Dad, you always said follow your passion. And I convinced him to go study drama. He was very shocked at first, but I fell in love with theatre and the art form itself at a very young age. And I was privileged enough to have a mother that's in the industry. So I saw a lot more theatre as I grew up.
Yes.
And I found that is the one thing that makes my tick.
Yes.
And that's how I got to study drama initially, got an agent and went through the ropes of breaking into the industry slowly but surely. Yeah.
Yes. And what motivates you to keep going?
The art itself, as I said, keeps the ticker going.
Yes.
And it's really something that drives me waking up in the morning and going like, it's something new every day.
Yes.
It's a new experience. It's a new character that you're taking on every time. So it's the unknown and newness of it going into it every time.
Yes. And if there's one specific role or movie that you would still like to do, what will it be and why?
I've always had a big passion for boxing movies. I still think that if Knuckle City has been in South Africa, but there's more like your Southpaws and that kind of things that's overseas. So a proper boxing movie is a character that I would love to play, the determination and sacrifice that they need to make, just climbing into the head of a boxer. I think is something that I would love to portray one day.
And what do you like to do in your spare time?
Anything with motor.
Any motoring?
I do enjoy any adrenaline sport. Have say motocross riding, flying, skiing, wakeboarding, anything that's motor driven at the end of the day and that pulls you faster than you can physically move yourself. That's my kind of kick in my spare time.
If you've got a message for all South Africans out there to keep them positive, motivated, what will your message be to them?
Yeah, we've been through a rough patch lately, and you can see a lot of people are really struggling, but also in the same breath, people have found ways to find new ways of keeping themselves motivated and driven. And I think it's this quiet time actually had people thinking more internal than external and finding what is actually important. And it's to follow that gut feeling at the end of the day, I believe, to find your path forward in today's South Africa.
Francois, thank you for your time today. We had a lot of fun and we hope that you've enjoyed it with us.
It was absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Donovan, take us home.
Next week on Racing with Celebs. Catch all the action on Ignition TV, DSTV channel 189.
What a trip back onto the race course it was. We have enjoyed it and I hope you did too. Don't miss us too much, we will be back soon. For more information on the series, our celebrities, please visit our Facebook page, Racing with Celebs, or download our mobile app, Racing with Celebs, on the Google Play Store or Apple iStore. Till next week, keep it safe.